Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Brief.
A delegation of UN ambassadors has just had an eye-opening experience as the international group observed Hamas's terror efforts firsthand. With Israeli Ambassador to the UN Dani Danon leading the trip, the delegates first met with President Rivlin and later toured a cyber center in Beersheba. But on Thursday, they're reported to have gone to an Iron Dome battery just 15 kilometers from the Gaza border and to a Hamas terror tunnel. Danon explains that Iran is the greatest threat and state sponsor of attacks, including from Gaza via Hamas, and he adds that this is proof of what Israel's been trying to say at the General Assembly in New York for years. Meanwhile, Palestinians in Gaza were celebrating 32 years since Hamas's founding, by rioting along the border fence in the thousands, and several hundred even clashed directly with Israeli troops along the border. In one video from near Khan Yunis, a fire can be seen on the hood of an IDF car in the distance after it was apparently hit by a Molotov cocktail, and hundreds more threw more explosives and stones too. Further, senior Hamas officials are threatening to increase pressures and violence if Israel refuses to remove its half of the blockade on the Gaza Strip. Egypt maintains the other half. The IDF responded, however, with non-lethal measures, injuring 5 Palestinians on the fence, and no soldiers were injured in the clashes. Removed from the Heritage List over anti-Semitic carnival caricatures, every year the Belgium city of Asti hosts a carnival with floats and balloons. But in March, organizers took it too far, presenting images of Orthodox Jews with large hooked noses and sitting on gold bags. It outraged the Jewish community of Belgium, which accounts for just 0.35% or a third of 1% of the population, and UNESCO, the UN educational, scientific, and cultural organization, gathered at a meeting in Bogota, Colombia on Friday when the decision to pull the site off the Heritage List was made. While the mayor of Asti says that the city was neither anti-Semitic nor racist, and that the metropolis would always remain the capital of mockery and satire, UNESCO says it would be uncompromising regarding these occurrences, and it notes that the city had recurring racist and anti-Semitic representations at these events. Then, following the meeting in Bogota, UNESCO released a statement saying it's faithful to its founding principles of equality and mutual respect. And Israel's Foreign Minister Israel Katz welcomes the decision, saying that in the 21st century, there's no place for anti-Semitism to rear its ugly head. Similar to Israel, the UK too has had a lot of changes in its parliament over the last few years. With Brexit and questions of racial attitudes at the center, the British Isles have been in a tense state for some time. But following yet another round of elections on Thursday, it looks like Boris Johnson, the incumbent Prime Minister of the Conservative Party, has won again. Johnson's campaign for getting Brexit done earned the Conservatives a 47-seat increase to 365, more than enough out of the 650 total in Parliament to win. And both Israeli and Jewish leaders have been among the first to congratulate Johnson's landslide victory. Taking to social media, Netanyahu says that this is an astonishing victory for his friend and that he looks forward to further improving upon Israel-UK ties. And President Rivlin also says that he's confident that relations will improve under Johnson's leadership. With that being said, the preference from Israel's perspective has been clear. Rival Jeremy Corbyn from the UK's Labour Party is an outspoken critic of Israel, who even very recently promised to recognize a Palestinian state and slash aid to Israel upon entering office. He's also long been fighting accusations of growing anti-Semitism under his leadership, which other Labour members have even since resigned over. Accusations so pervasive and numerous that British Chief Rabbi Ephraim Mervis even took an unprecedented stand against the Labour leader just ahead of the vote. Well, in any case, the 70-year-old Corbyn has now announced that he will be resigning from his position, along with his ally and party number 2, John McDonnell. Following the loss of 59 seats in Parliament to 203, the Labour Party is now at its lowest since the 1930s. In other news, an Israeli team is now set to compete in the 2020 Tour de France bicycle race for the first time ever. And dubbing itself the Israel Startup Nation, the team carries 30 riders from 16 different countries, including 4 from Israel. But the team, which is privately owned by Israelis Sylvan Adams and Ron Barron, was born 5 years ago with the sole dream of joining the world competition. Adams is a known cycling enthusiast who has helped build bike lanes and a velodrome in Tel Aviv, and he also aided in bringing the Giro d'Italia to Israel last year. Barron, similarly, is the co-founder of the Israel Cycling Academy, but still the years of efforts have paid off as Adams and Barron's dreams are coming true, and the team will head to Nice, France in the summer to compete in the 23-day-long journey that spans the whole country and more.
That's all for now, but for more news from Israel, remember to like ILTV on Facebook and on Instagram, and to subscribe to us on YouTube. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.